finally done leveling up all these fucking guns. Please. Please. Yes, we're done. Oh, I'm done. It's over. Oh my fucking god, it is finally fucking over. Let me get my favorite gun on real quick. It's over, chat. It's over. We're done. It's fucking done. Every gun level 25. I never have to use the torture again.
This was shot in front of a live studio audience.
So the time has finally come. I have finally leveled up every gun to max. All done. I have used every weapon. I made a few tier list videos a long time ago, alright? And a lot of the opinions I gave on guns were honestly what my community and what I saw other big content creators in the space say guns were good for. Because I never used it. Perfect example. I never touched the Blitzer. I never used the Blitzer until I had to get it to level 25. However, I used it now. And now I have my own opinion on it. Instead of just copying what everyone else said. Because I just didn't know anything about it, so I just went with the majority said. And it is so nice. But right as I finished the Warbond, or right as I finished all the level 25 guns, everything, 4 weapons came out. Now, luckily, the 3 of the 4 guns did not have a rank tied to them, and all I had to do was level up the Coyote, which wasn't that bad of an experience to finish off on. But I think it's time I do the ultimate search optimized term ultimate epic fully meta guide tier list. I don't know, man. Whatever can get the algorithm to love me a little more. But I wanted to do a full-on tier list on basically me just talking about all the guns that I think were either whatever tier they were and my experience using them. And I'm going to get one gun out of the way. My favorite gun in the game. I know people will say, well, I think before I actually get into guns, let me talk about the criteria real quick. Because I'm probably going to be listing some guns in some tiers that, at least currently right now as we talk about it, some YouTubers are arguing amongst each other about whether it's good or bad. And you may see my tiering and I put it somewhere and you may think I'm absolutely faded, which is a possibility. But the way that I view it is a gun is only going to be in S or A tier or B tier. Like anything in the upper from mid to high is going to be, does it excel at anything? If it does excel at something, what does it excel at? Does that thing that it's good at, does it apply to multiple factions? I think a perfect example, because we can all agree that it's S tier, is the crossbow. This would be S tier, one of the best guns in the game. It's one-handed, it's explosive, you can close bug holes, you can destroy squid ships, and you can destroy fabricators with it. You can kill a lot of the big chunky guys. You can kill Devastators, Troopers, Bugs, Alpha Commanders, Hive Guards, everything. In anything with medium penetration and a good amount of damage and stagger force, one-handed, all the jazz. It excels at many different things, and it excels at it at many different factions. Now, there may be a gun that maybe just excels at one thing, and that one thing it excels at is only good for one faction, possibly. I think a perfect example is, in my opinion, I think the Cookout is very good when it comes to bugs, and especially Pred Strain bugs. Because you have the ability to stagger with the incineration thing, with the incineration rounds. However, when I used it against the bots, I didn't like it. I really don't like shotguns that much on squids either. I feel like they struggle, but not because of their fault, but because of the adaptive armor that we find ourselves facing against when facing overseers. And overall, the unnecessarily tanky flesh mob. So I don't really like this out of anything. So right now, this weapon excels at one thing, and that is CC for the most part, and kind of killing chaff, and really does it well against one faction. So in my opinion, I put this in a low A to A tier range. I think the Cookout's really good. I don't think it honestly, I put it in B tier. I have to say it's a B tier weapon because there's some other shotguns I like a little bit more. Actually, no, it is actually A because I put something else in B tier. I think I'll get the most hated gun out of the way. Something that I actually could not stand leveling up while I was playing the game. And I understand it is supposed to be a CC type weapon, but I feel like there's other guns in the game that did CC completely better. And not only did they do it better, but in my philosophy when it comes to Helldivers, I feel like the best CC or crowd control that you can have in Helldivers is overall just having the ability to just kill something. Massive explosions, napalm barrages that also kill, but also, basically bottleneck choke points on bug breaches or bot drops or with artillery. I think personally, I'd rather just kill something than deal with having to stagger the fuck out of it and pray to God that I'm staggering enough of it so that I'm doing enough damage with each stagger to eventually kill it soon. And that's why I put the Liberator Concussive in the bottom of the bottom. I absolutely hated leveling up this gun. I used it on bugs, and it was all right. I mean, I used it against Predator Strain, and I kind of I could see what people were cooking up with, but every time I was using it on Predator Strain, I was just hoping I was using a different gun, like a Cookout or something else, because I could not stand using this weapon in the least bit. To the point where towards the latter half, when you get to that level 21 to 23 range, where it takes like multiple operations to get through each level, I was just having my teammates just like, I would run to their dead body once they would die, and I would just pick up their gun and pray to God that they didn't have a Liberator Concussive with me. And I just I just dropped this gun immediately and let the XP come in from me just completing the mission. It was horrible. So, I hate this gun. I don't know what it is to change it. I don't know if they should revert the change and make the rounds explosive like it used to be at launch. But something I just cannot stand about this gun personally, and I probably will never touch it again, and I hope I never have to level it up more because it was an absolutely atrocious experience. Now, an easy gun that gave me a massive surprise and an easy S tier, in my opinion, was a gun that I had never touched until weapon customization came out. And I know some of you are going to be like, how have you never thought about picking up the gun? I just it never called to me, all right? And every time I ever heard people talk about it, they're like, it's S tier, it's amazing, it's God tier. And I was like, okay, well, if it's God tier and everything, like, I mean, I guess that's good now, but it doesn't look impressive. And that is the Blitzer. I never knew y'all were sitting on such absolute gas with unlimited ammo, never having to reload, literally not even having to aim. All I had to do while I was on the bugs, and while I was informed that I never used it against the squids or the bots, I was informed that it was not good against the squids or the bots. I did not know while you were fighting against bugs, all I had to do was just W left click, or in my case on my controller, left thumbstick and right trigger, and call it a day. I did not know it was that simple. I did not know it was that easy. I didn't know it was that blessed. I did not know that you can stagger 5 entire hordes of bugs and call it a day, all while just holding right trigger and doing nothing. It was insane. I don't know how this has never gotten a nerf. I don't want it to ever get nerfed. And I was speechless when I used it. I actually couldn't believe it. I always heard people talk about how this gun had like a special mechanic to it, and that this special mechanic made it have like a skill gap or something. And I thought that meant that there was like a little mini game with the reload. And I was like, I'm not gonna learn how to do a mini game with a reload. I'd rather just shoot something with an assault rifle. No, I just had to press right trigger. It is absolutely fundamentally fucking insane that this gun exists in this meta. Or in the sandbox, I should say. It's absolutely insane, and I love it. I truly do love it. I think personally, if you're struggling on the new Hive worlds, this has even become even more S tier than S tier. All right, these two guns are like an SS plus. If this was like Uma Musume, or I literally just missaid that because I can never pronounce it, but the anime horse girl anime game, okay, it would have SS plus rank. Okay, it would have amazing. This shit is. This is insane, because did you guys know that the lightning actually arcs into the floor and will go through the ground and knock those fuckers out of their burrow? So that means that you can stagger the warrior bugs, even though they got the same armor as a hive guard, but the warrior rupture bugs out of the ground and instantly kill them, or at least instantly start staggering them with the rest of the group that you've staggered. It's insane. It is democracy's gift to the Helldiver. So, I definitely am putting that in S tier personally. I think another one that is a classic and one of my favorite guns in the game, and I know this may be a little bit of a hot topic for some people. You may think I'm just giving out free A's here or S's because I'm starting with a lot of my favorite guns in the game, or not favorite guns, but just guns that I had the most memorable time using. I will give the Liberator a solid A. All right, it is a good all-arounder, especially with weapon customization. Now, I know a lot of people throw a drum mag on these guns, but personally, I don't like drum mags. I feel like Arrowhead doesn't understand the concept of why people take drum mags into this game. For the most part, I think that I'm taking a drum mag because I want extra ammunition because there's not enough ammunition for the gun. But for some reason, that when I put a drum mag on the gun, all it seems that they think that a drum mag is for the player perspective is instead of it being more ammo that you have to bring in with actually having the same amount of mags but it be a drum, instead it is now you have less magazines but you have more ammo in your magazine so you don't have to reload as often. And personally, I'd rather just reload and just shoot because for the most part the issue isn't so much me not having enough bullets to kill something, it's usually just that I don't have enough ammo that I need to go run to a POI or a resupply. That's kind of the issue for me personally when it comes to like the reason why I may want a drum mag on a gun. But for the most part, I feel like the Liberator went from the highest tier of B to the lowest tier of A with the weapon customization, and honestly, just overall, it has become honestly a really amazing weapon with the recent round of buffs, or not the most recent round of buffs. The last time I remember, it got buffed from I think it was like 60 damage or 50 damage to now 80 damage, and it has truly just been a really all around like overall good weapon. Now, I think I should cover one of my favorite guns in the game. I think everyone knows that this is probably going to be the easiest S tier I'm going to give out. I know that for a lot of people it is a meme gun. No one takes it serious, but I will be genuinely honest with you. Yes, it sucks against the squids. Yes, even though I can do it, even I can tell you it's a little bit of a struggle to do it on bugs as well. But when you use this thing on tier 10 bots or any difficulty of bots, it is absolutely insanely satisfying and insanely easy when you are just doming heads off devastators that are charging at you and you're just one-shotting troopers and yeah, there is some times when you're getting like rushed by a few berserkers and you're struggling to get that headshot and there's that adrenaline rush of like trying to rack the bolt and hit the head and then hopefully you hit it or you just going for the body and get the kill. Sometimes that could be a negative, but for the most part, man, this I feel like has such good ammo to it and the ability to just have that reload mechanic and just the vibe of a bolt action and it be so effective with the one-shot headshot and so satisfying. And I'm gonna be real, there's a little bit of aura to it, okay? I love the Constitution. It's one of my favorite guns in the game, and I wish there was more quote-unquote meme guns like the Constitution that follow that same kind of Great War or World War II aesthetic of a bolt-action rifle, which is why I put the amendment right next to that bitch, all right? I love the amendment too, okay? Because the amendment is just like, all right, in my personal opinion, the Diligence counter snipe or the Diligence sniper rifle, which is why I also put the Diligence also in S tier. These are some of the best weapons to use against bots, and these weapons, I really don't see why you wouldn't use them against multiple things. The Diligence counter sniper can be your weapon to solve 95% of all the enemies you will ever deal with against squids. Takes out harvesters, takes out overseers, takes out voteless. I mean, I personally would not use it on a flesh mob, but I mean, if you don't want to reload your special weapon or you don't want to throw a grenade on it because you don't have any and you don't have whatever your secondary you like to use on squids is, you can mag dump this into the flesh mob. Offers medium pen, high damage, good accuracy. I genuinely don't see how you don't love this. Now, in my opinion, personally, while I love the amendment and I am one of like 5 people out there who actually like the Masters of Ceremony war bond, all right, and don't take it too serious about what they added into the game. I can admit that the amendment is just a different flavor of the diligence, the standard diligence, which in my opinion isn't always a bad thing. I don't mind there being side flavors of different concepts of guns, with this just being, oh, it's the diligence, but it has a bayonet on it. I personally don't mind that. While I don't want every war bond to ever just always be just side flavors of something, I can appreciate a little bit of a different, even the most uncharitable way of putting it, a different model to the same stats, even though it's not. I really like the amendment. It's basically just another version of how I said I like the Constitution. These are going to be some of my favorite picks for bots. And even you can do, like I said, you can get away with using these on any difficulty. They're or on any faction. They're not really exclusive to any one faction that I would say, oh, I don't know why you would bring that. Now, another weapon that I will be putting on the lowest tier with the Liberator Concussive, even lower than the Liberator Concussive, as I've only used it once my entire time of playing the game, and I immediately didn't want to use it ever again, and I'm not going to even explain it, is the Killzone Sniper. I actually hate this gun. This is another gun I hate. Truly, truly auspiciously horrible. I don't know how you fuck up a sniper in the way that you do. Even with the buff they did, it's like barely even noticeable. It still feels horrible. I mean, why would I take this when I can just take the AMR, I feel? Like, I'd rather just have the AMR. Because it at least kills shit that I need it to kill with a sniper. And you don't even get rewarded for being accurate with the gun. So I don't even know what's the point of bringing it. So we're just going to move past this travesty, okay? Another one of my favorites that I'm going to put in high A, borderline S tier. I'm being real. The only reason, you know what? It's my tier list. I don't give a fuck, okay? I'm putting it in S tier because, no. Man, I love the Dominator, man. I'm putting it in S tier. I don't give a fuck. All right, you can call me S tier heavy. I don't care, because when I get to the C and D ranges of shit, you know you'll get on my ass later, I guess. But we're just covering all my favorites right now, so it's easy. I love the Dominator. It's a bolter. I don't know how else to explain to you. It clears on every difficulty, and it just feels like shooting a bolter. I really don't have to explain more past that if you haven't had your hands on it. If you've ever played Warhammer or ever seen a Space Marine shoot its main gun, it is a total vibe when you are one-shotting the small chaff and you're doing just blowing off chunks on the big stuff, all right? It is just an absolute blast, especially since I remember last time, I don't know if things changed, but it used to one-shot headshot Overseers, which is absolutely insane for a primary, especially with how tanky those fuckers can be. So I absolutely love. I actually may be wrong. I don't remember that. I don't remember if it one shot. I may be mixing it up with the Senator. But overall, this gun is just insane. I love it. The only thing that I would ask personally, which I forgot to mention about the Constitution, is that one, I think the Constitution needs to have stripper clips. And, you know, you don't ever have to give it heavy pen. You don't ever have to buff the damage. Even though I always hate the argument that it shouldn't get a damage buff or have any kind of viability in a viability buff in the sandbox because it's a meme gun, which is the dumbest shit that I ever hear. Just because it's a meme pick, like, you should still give it a buff to be viable, even though I think it's viable. But if someone says, like, hey, I think it needs to have X damage buff, or I need it to have X penetration, and your instant argument is it's a meme gun, why would they buff it? I think personally you should just excuse yourself from the conversation, because that's not really a good counterpoint to why something should or shouldn't have something if it's not if it's a niche pick. For a perfect example, a lot of people hate on the one true flag. Imagine if every time, something that we all agree on, that we all say, hey, it'd be really nice if the one true flag gave us X buff when we were next to it when someone plants it down on the ground. Imagine if I was in the room with you or in the call with you and I said, why would they do that? It's just a meme pick. Why does it need to have a buff to give you? You should just be using it for the meme. You would be pretty disappointed in that response, and you would think, man, that's not the point. That's not what I'm trying to say. I understand it's a meme, but I mean, I would like it to be viable even though I'm doing a meme. So just so you understand, stop using that argumentation when you try when you're disagreeing with someone, and pick a different way to attack the argument. All right? I'm not saying you have to agree, but just pick a different way with how you engage with conversations. Okay? Now with the Dominator, I'm all right with the ergonomics hitting the ultimate low and being in almost the negative and almost being on the same level as the heavy machine gun. But if you've ever seen a dual drum mag attachment to like an M16, like in those old 90s movies, can I get a dual drum mag for the Dominator? And my life arrowhead will forever be yours. I will be your Kratos, and I will go slay every single enemy of democracy if you give this gun a dual drum mag, okay? Now, I think we should sprinkle in, okay? We should sprinkle in one of the more topical guns, just because I feel like overall, you know, gotta keep you guys engaged. You know, in today's day and age with TikTok attention spans, I understand that we have to be a little bit more locked in, okay? So I'll talk about one of the Halo guns. we'll do the AR. I honestly think the AR is like one of the but if the Coyote wasn't a thing, I really love this Halo assault rifle. I put it in top A, only because I just feel like it overshadows the Liberator in a lot of different ways. I know a lot of people have the opinion that the Liberator is better than the assault rifle due to its attachments, but I'm gonna be dead ass with you. I really don't know what attachments you guys have that I don't, because the only attachment I ever hear is the drum mag, and yeah, you do have 33 rounds in the magazine with the Halo 3 assault rifle. I think it's the MA5C. I think that MA5C. I think that's the name of it. I'm forgetting a little bit. But with the Halo assault rifle, it's got the same exact stats, some of the best ergonomics in the game, just flat out with no attachments, and it's just a medium pen assault rifle doing just excellent work, amazing work. I don't know how that weapon is in any way like worse than the Liberator, especially when every time there's a light pen weapon that ever comes out, the first thing I always hear is how a gun needs medium penetration to be viable in any kind of way. So I just genuinely love the Halo assault rifle. It could be that I'm biased because I was a Halo fan and still am. I'm just wishing for a good Halo game to come out, eventually. But it really is. It was doing work for me on the squids. It was putting in work on bugs, and it was putting in definitely a fuck ton of work when I was playing against bots. And still to this day, when I was done after with the Coyote, even though I love the Coyote, I went right back to the Halo 3 assault rifle on bots because it was just so much fun to use and it's such a vibe. Especially with its like Easter egg and the first person view. It's just the attention to detail. I love it personally. But a medium penetration weapon that has kind of fallen behind, even though it has a drum mag and even though it has attachments, and especially with the newest Warbond, is the Liberator Penetrator. I'm being honest with you, with its 60 damage, it is probably shooting down to a C tier for me. I think the Liberator Penetrator has went down from being one of those other options you have as medium pen assault rifles to now becoming the quickest and like earliest form of like your introduction to a medium pen assault rifle, because that's the only way I could view it as, besides that, because it has been so forgotten behind with its 60 damage, and even another medium pen like the Coyote has 75 damage, or you have the Adjudicator, which is at 95. So you have a lot of these guns that are just hitting way harder than this one. You have 80, 75, 90. So obviously this is at the bottom of the list. Now, yes, it has a drum mag, but this is my argument against the drum mag debacle, which is like, it seems to be like the killer, the killing shot, the silver bullet, all right, for what these people think is like killing the argument, is that with the amount of bullets that I need to kill something with the Liberator, I damn near need the drum mag. While on the other hand, I could kill like 5 things that would need medium pen or that have a lot of health, like an Alpha Warrior or something, in like a quarter of the magazine on any of these other weapons. Like, I can kill way more shit with a smaller magazine on these other weapons due to their damage being so much better. Now, does this gun need a buff? Probably. Maybe shoot it up to 70. I don't need it to be overshadowing other guns or just magically just power creep it up or anything. It's fine being it. There's all right with there being bad guns in the game or early advantage guns, or that just offer medium pen and introduce you to the world to higher penetrations, but it is really honestly it's one of those guns that has fallen to the wayside and kind of not been anything special at all. But another gun that truly did not surprise me at all, and another gun that I honestly don't understand how it has a fan base besides just the aura of lighting shit on fire, is the Torture, man. I'm putting this also in C tier, but I will put it above the Liberator Penetrator. I just didn't understand the appeal. I understand that if you shoot the ground, it makes the flames, it lights the floor on fire, but I just ended up either having my teammate light my ass on fire or I light myself on fire, and like I just ended up feeling like, why the fuck would I not just use the flamethrower? It just felt like I already don't even like the flamethrower, and I feel like the flamethrower needs a buff because it doesn't ever kill the big shit that I wanted to kill fast enough. But every time I was using it, I was like, damn, I could just be using a flamethrower. It does more damage. And what's weird is that I love the crisper, because I don't even know if the bug's still in the game or if it is a bug. But remember when the crisper was just killing factory striders? Like, I feel like they should swap. I feel like this should be killing factory striders, or damn near, and then the crisper should be doing whatever the torture's doing. I don't know where the appeal for this gun is. It blows my mind to this day. Maybe someone in the comments will light my shit up for when and who thinks like the gun should be an S tier, and they'll like give me a straight list of like a chat GBT list that was generated by Grok that could tell me why this gun was so good. But I personally do not see the appeal of it. And another gun that I did not see the appeal of was the spray and pray. Bro, I'm gonna be dead ass with you. Once you level up the breaker and get the drum mag on the breaker, it's like literally this gun isn't even good. It's like this gun is horrible, unironically. It's not even good in my opinion to deal with what you wanted to deal with, which is dealing with like hordes of chaff. I found like every other gun to be any other gun, in my opinion, would have been better for what this gun was made to do. The only reason why it's not in D tier is because these guns absolutely suck dick. And I never wanted to use them. At least with the spray and pray, like I didn't mind using it. I just was always just wondering why half the drum would like not kill anything. And I'm just sitting there wondering like, man, like the breaker was 20 times better when I had the drum mag attached to it. So I did not like the spray and pray when I was leveling it up to 25. It was not a fun experience. I borderline almost was going to put it in D tier, but it, in my opinion, does fulfill the role of just like holding a horde at bay. But it like the second that shit gets up to an alpha commander, it felt like this was like not killing it anytime quickly, and I had an issue with that. Now maybe that's a skill issue on my part. Maybe there's some spray and pray fans out there who could tell me what I was doing wrong. But it really just felt like not a good experience. Even after I took off the duck bill and I put on a full choke to maybe tighten the spread a little bit so that it could focus on like one enemy to kill, because like I said, in my opinion, I feel like the best CC is like killing things, and even then with the full choke on it, I could not get it to work for me. I did not like it at all. But one gun that I did like was the Eruptor. This was another gun like the Blitzer that I always heard, and I understand that this gun has had multiple controversies at this point with multiple different balance patches, fixes, brokenness, all that jazz. When I used it, and at least I think currently right now, it is still in a good place. It has not been touched. It has not been changed. And honestly, I see the light, all right? I felt like those stock images of the guy having his mind blown and entering heaven, okay? When I used it against bugs, it was like as if like I was like given I was shown knowledge, all right? This might be one of the best guns in the game, up there with the main three in my opinion, okay? I will say in S tier, there's no real order to this, just so you understand. Here there might be an order, and like I wouldn't take the order too seriously, to be honest with you. But at least in S, don't think that like I think like the Constitution's better than I think they're all amazing, and they're just S tier in general. Okay, I should have specified that probably earlier in the video, but I don't got a script in front of me. I'm kind of just giving you guys off the dome feelings. Okay, when it came to the Eruptor, I would say it's in the top 3 weapons of all time. Like the crossbow, blitzer, and the Eruptor are some of the top 3 weapons of all time, and it blew my mind how amazing they were. Like this gun was even good against bots, which blew my mind. I was like, how is this? It was just to put into perspective how good this gun is. I would bring a stalwart and use that as my primary, and my primary weapon, the Eruptor, would be my special weapon that I used for anything that involved like either needing to deal with something big, deal with some biosphere. Like, bro, speaking of biosphere seeds, bro, they were never an issue. I blew up like 6 of them with just one shot by accident. It's insane. Lovely gun. I understand the fans. I understand now. I truly understand why everyone loves the Eruptor. It's just a bolt action, a beefier bolt action bolter like the Dominator. It's insane. I don't understand it. Man, they need to make another gun like the Eruptor. I'm not even going to lie, Chief, because I really liked it. Okay? I need another interpretation of the Eruptor. Now, another gun that was absolutely amazing, but does have one glaring flaw, which is its reload speed, is the Deadeye. I think this is one of the best guns in the game for all the factions. Not one of the best guns. It is a overall amazing pick for any of the factions. I would put high A, borderline S. No, it goes in S tier. It goes in S tier because it honestly, it handles everything that you need it to handle. Bugs, clearing with no problem. One-shotting a lot of shit that you don't expect it to one-shot. Same situation with the Devastators and bots. It's kind of like the Constitution, but it has medium pen and a scope. So instantly, that makes it better than the Constitution. As much as I love the Constitution more, it is instant. It is like absolutely insanely accurate. Squids, one shot headshots. I would say factory striders. I wish, imagine, but no, it one shot headshots. Overseers clears. The only issue I ever had with it is the reload speed. My God. Okay, I thought Cowboys reloaded repeaters quicker, man. I did not know it was this slow. I don't give a fuck how big the caliber of the bullet is. Okay, I'm telling you, I thought these guns were reloaded fast. I thought they were called repeaters because they shoot fast and reload fast. But man, is that reload killer! Unironically, I think you could reload the Constitution quicker than than this Deadeye. Okay, it's insane. But it's even though that slow reloads there. Oh my God, if you're accurate with that gun, bro, you can do some damage, man. You can be a literal sniper. Tell me how the repeater does a better job at being a sniper than the Killzone sniper, but that's besides the point. Now, a gun that's going to go instantly in B tier is I'm just going to put the Killzone assault rifle. It's a clone of the battle rifle of the Liberator, but it just you have these like really awkward iron sights, and I love iron sights in games, but I don't really dig the iron sights on the Killzone gun. And while it does look cool and it just shoots faster and has a little bit of bigger mag capacity than the Liberator, but still the same damage and penetration, you just end up feeling like, damn, I'd rather just use the Liberator, and you end up missing a lot more shots than you intend due to you being at light pen and you want to be a little bit more accurate. So it just never really feels all that great, but it looks cool. So I just put it in mid tier. It's kind of just like, it's there. You know, you can use it. It will help you. It's not horrible. It's not going to be, but it's not going to be excelling in anything drastically. It's very middle of the road. Nothing's going to be changing. Now, a gun that definitely shot up into A tier for me personally, that used to be, I think, in D or C tier. And for a lot of people, it changed because it turned into like a mini stalwart due to some popular guides and just everyone's natural intuition with it being the drum mag, is the Liberator Carbine. I think this Liberator Carbine kind of basically shot up to A tier almost. Borderline B tier, or high B tier if you were to be really critical of it. But it is kind of like a mini stalwart and can kind of handle a lot of things. And it's kind of nice when you have a lot of things that can worry about the recoil and you have a good sight on it, like the holographic or the one I think it was the 1.2, the 1.5 times tube. This weapon was just really overall clearing, and I was it was a nice surprise to use towards the end on 24 when I got my hands on the drum mag, and I was like, wait, this is just like a free stalwart. I like this. So I shot it up to A personally. I had a lot of fun with it on bots. Now maybe on bugs or squids it might not be as good. I used it like I think once or twice on squids and I didn't have an issue. And then when it came to bugs, I also never really had an issue. But like I used it very little on squids as I was mainly a bot diving. So it was not something that I really struggled with on bots, and I actually liked it a lot. So I could appreciate the attempt to try to bring it back, because I think for a lot of people, the Carbine was either in C or D tier for people, unless you were a really big fan of it. But I think for a lot of people, it kind of shot up either 1 or 2 tiers, and for me, it shot up 2 tiers to A, especially with the access to the attachments. Now, another weapon that kind of shot up for me in being like a C tier, like never really thought about it, to an A tier weapon with how accurate you can be, is the Scythe. The Scythe is honestly for the bots. I don't know about, it could be horrible for the, you know what? I'll put it at B tier. I'm gonna put it at A because I'd never used it against the bugs, so it may be horrible for bugs, and I can see it being a bit of a struggle bus for, now that I say it, yeah, I'll probably put it in B. It could be a struggle bus for the squids, but against bots, I low-key respected the fuck out of using this gun. It was a vibe, especially when you got the double the battery life on the energy pack, and you could shoot this shit for a while. I was just beaming heads off Devastators and kind of handling chaff like it was no problem. Now, I think easily we can all agree the Coyote's S tier. I really don't have to explain it, man. It's kind of insane. Okay, amazing ergonomics, borderline no recoil. The stability is amazing. The magazine capacity, I think I already said, also amazing. You have a lot of bullets in there. Medium penetration, 75 rounds. So you're doing more than the Liberator Penetrator. You're doing 5 less than the assault rifle. You're doing less than the Adjudicator, but you still have a lot of ammo capacity, unlike the Adjudicator, and your bullets are turning incendiary. So you're doing kind of a lot of damage deceptively, because you're doing extra dot damage on top of the normal 75. So you possibly are out DPSing these other guns if I was to do the math, which I didn't. But it don't matter. You can literally just see it. It is honestly one of the best assault rifles in the game. Another gun that is probably one of the best assault rifles in the game is probably the Adjudicator. Ever since it got its reduction in recoil, and you have attachments that can kind of change it up. The only reason why I never really use it, I just don't like how it looks. I think it looks really dumb, but it is honestly amazing at how well it can handle a lot of different things, especially at its medium penetration and doing 95 damage, being the heaviest hitting assault rifle at medium penetration, which is crazy. Okay. I know why they don't give it a drum mag or they don't give it extra like ammo, because it would be absolutely insane. And it is truly an amazing gun that can get the job done, but it just at the time needed its recoil adjusted, which it did. So I put that in S tier personally. When I think of the Knight, I put that in A tier. Because I low-key blew my mind a little bit about how accurate you could be. Actually, no, I put it in B tier. No, A tier. I put it in A tier because it was a mini stalwart as well. But especially when you got the increased magazine that was like a borderline drum as well. But it was beaming headshots like easy on bots, and I don't understand how they could so easily just get kills like that, no problem, like effortlessly. It was truly a surprise to use. Another surprise of mine to use, because I thought it was just a Liberator concussive, but an SMG, because of the pummeler, it just seemed like a shitty weapon to use, and everyone always shit talked it in chat. Was the pummeler? The pummeler shot its way up from D tier to me to like a solid B tier, man. That was a really good gun to use. And even though it didn't excel at really anything and kind of struggled against some things, I could still use it and get away with seeing how the appeal worked for it and what you were trying to get out of it. It really was something that was better than the Liberator concussive. Then I don't even know why I put them in the same ballpark. It was truly something that I don't know. It was just... the pummeler was really good. It was an experience. Okay, it's basically going in with the expectations that I'm going to use like the sniper, and then coming out and then getting to use it, and I felt like I was using like the Liberator. All right, like it was something. It was different. It was a very different experience. It was very eye awakening. Okay, now one of my favorite assault rifles in the game, which kind of is going down slowly as time passes, is the Tenderizer. It used to be S tier for me. I used to love the Tenderizer. It used to be my favorite gun in the game. But a lot of assault rifles have shown up in its place, and it's starting to slowly knock itself down the list. Yes, a lot of medium, they're going to be medium pens, so people might say that, it's obvious because of the penetration, but that's not really it. That's not just it. It's just that there's like, the Coyote is just insane, at least right now, until it gets nerfed. The Adjudicator, I had it tied with being like light pen version of the best assault rifle, because it is doing 105 damage. And I remember it. I actually take it back. I'm mixing it up. That gun was actually cooking at 105 damage, and I can't believe that I actually just said all that. We might have to cut that out in post, low key. We're gonna do that because that was amazing. That gun is amazing. It is S tier. Okay. Hopefully, I'm smart enough to cut all that out later, but I'm putting that in S tier. I don't know what I was on. I was mixing that up with a completely different gun. That is an S tier. Tenderizer is definitely in the S tier range. Okay. Just because it's light pen doesn't mean it's dog shit. That gun is 105 damage, is hitting hard. Okay. Now, another A tier, especially when you get the drum mag and it becomes the best shotgun in the game, is the breaker. Like, unironically, if you get the drum mag on the breaker, instantly it does already more DPS per shell than the spray and pray. And so you're already going to be doing, it's already outshadowing this instantaneously once you get a drum mag. And personally, to me, the incendiary breaker, I don't like it. I don't know why people like it. I throw this in B tier. It's like the most middle of the range shotgun you can deal with. Just because it has incendiary rounds, it doesn't really mean anything to me. I rather just use a breaker or a cookout in most parts. And it's just, there's nothing that I really need the incendiary breaker for. Back in the day, it used to be meta, but a lot of things have changed in this current sandbox, and there's just way better options these days. So I kept it in B tier. I know some people may think I'm rage baiting with that one, but I'm being truly honest when I say I think the breaker might be one of the best shotguns in the game, if not the best shotgun in the game. When it comes to like what it offers, and when it comes out of the Breaker series, I just think it's one of the best, honestly. Now, another A tier shotgun is going to definitely be the Holt. This is a shotgun that I actually have almost tied with the like borderline. They're neck and neck. One excels in the other, and the other excels in something else. Especially with the stun rounds. And I know the stun rounds mean a lot to some people, which is why I'm factoring it in. But for me personally, when I used it, I did not give a shit about the stun rounds, man. All I wanted to do was just shoot things, and that's what I did, and it was the most fun I had shooting shit. So I'm throwing it in A tier. It's another one of those shotguns that, in my opinion, is one of the best, and I had a lot of fun using it. As well as another gun that is going to be shooting up into the A tier range is definitely the Plasma Punisher, because I think also it is another one of the best shotguns in the game. These three shotguns, in my opinion, are some of the best shotguns in the game, and I don't know why they don't get more love, or maybe they do have more love by the community, because I never see anyone really use them, and I don't know why. Besides the Hull, I see people use the Hull a lot, but the Plasma Punisher, I feel like, is chunking. You literally have like a plasma mortar in your pocket, just ready to be used, and just clear chaff out like no problem due to the AoE of it. It's absolutely insane how good the Plasma Punisher is. And the Holt flechettes are just cooking through bots, cooking through bugs. Now, I'm going to be honest with you. We're going to keep this between you and me. I never really used the Holt against the squids, okay? So I don't know how good it is against the squids, but even if it was absolutely fucking horrible against the squids, I'm keeping it in A tier because it's just goated like that, okay? Now, another gun that I know people are going to be like, well, it's just a copy of the Knight, but I like the Knight more because it has the ability to have attachments, and I, once again, do not like the sights on the gun, is B tier. The Stahl SMG is definitely going to B tier because it's just... the reason why I like the Knight more and I put it into A tier is because I'm able to... Well, obviously I can control my shots with the Stahl SMG, but due to me having the sight picture that I have with the Knight, I'm able to easily get headshots. So it's much more easier to pull that off due to attachments and having a bigger magazine because you have a drum. While on the other hand, here I'm kind of stuck with some mid of the round iron sights, and I rather just use the Knight due to the ability to the quality of life of having attachments that make up for the Knight's stats, as well as the sickle double edge is probably going to be an A tier. Now, when it first came out, it was S tier. I've never been a fan of a gun that is going to ask you to damage yourself for more damage, unless the game is like Destiny, where it's easier to heal yourself. This game, I really don't want to waste stims just to try to get medium pen when can use the assault rifle, or I could use the coyote. I could use any assortment of medium penetration weapons in the game that don't ask me to sacrifice a stim or wear fire resistant armor just to get to that level of penetration. And yeah, it has unlimited ammo, but I'll be dead ass. I can care less, man. If I really care about medium penetration and I need it, I don't think unlimited ammo is equating to stim usage, because then you basically have to bring a supply pack, or you have to be hoarding and juggling the resupply or hitting POIs to make sure you're full on stims. So that's like my opinion. I do recognize that it can be really useful, which is why I'm not lowering it to B, C, or D. But the reason why it may not be an S for me, and it may be an S for others, is simply just due to the fact of that stim. I don't like the concept of those kind of guns. So I just going to keep it an A for me personally. Now, Reprimand is another A tier SMG, especially with how the rounds have been, the recoil and the spread. Remember when this gun first came out, this shit was like a CS:GO gun, completely inaccurate. You shot the trigger and it shot off the Saturn or something, man. But now the recoil is there. It's amazing. The spread is much more controlled. Attachments allow you to really sharpen down and fine tune the bullet spread and the recoil, changing out the sights. While there isn't a mag attachment to increase the magazine, if you're at least hitting headshots or handling those medium penetration, it can put in the work. And the Reprimand went from what might be a C tier weapon to me to definitely a middle of the round A tier weapon. I'd probably put it down in like around here if I had to care about order. But I'm just, like I said, the order doesn't really matter. I'm not really trying to worry about the order. I'm just putting them in their categories. So it's definitely an A tier weapon to me, based off just that quality of life. If it had gotten attachments but never got that extra buff to range or effective range, and then its spread and recoil, I probably would keep it. I would put it down to B, but due to that buff and the ability to get the attachments, definitely has shot up to A, which is the same thing for with the adjudicator, which is why it's not an A. It's because it got that buff and it got the attachment quality of life change. You know, I had to think. Okay, leave me alone. The pacifier. Man, I really wanted to like this gun, and I understand it's supposed to be a liberator concussive kind of like CC kind of thing, and it was putting in work with the medium penetration, and I just did not. It felt so mid to use. It felt like I was just like, okay, like, you know, that's cool. That's kind of it. And I used it on bugs. Maybe it's better on other factions, but it just felt like so. And I understand it's a non-lethal gun, even though like it's shooting medium caliber rounds and killing man-eating bugs. But fuck, man, it was not fun to use when I like. It was fun. Let me take that back. It was fun to use because it was just like, it's a gun. I mean, I love playing with Helldivers, but like that's like you shouldn't be saying that about a gun. You know, like I shouldn't have to be like, yeah, I had fun playing the game, but you know, the gun wasn't adding to the fun. It was the game itself. You know, and that's why I put it in B. It's like it's just painfully mid, borderline C worthy, to be honest with you. It's just like I rather the only reason why it's not in C or D is because I can see myself using the pacifier before I use any of these, so I just don't take it. Even though it's worse than the Liberator Penetrator, actually, I don't even know what I'm on about. Actually, I put it in C tier. It is worse than the Liberator Penetrator. That is true. I just thought about it. I'd rather take the Liberator Penetrator than the pacifier, because at least this will like kill shit way quicker and has a drum mag. So this doesn't. The sickle is definitely going into A tier. It's I don't know why you wouldn't put it in A tier. It's just a better, it's in my opinion a better double-edged sickle. It doesn't have medium pen, but you have unlimited ammo. You don't have to worry about lighting yourself on fire. You have a very good bullet spread in my opinion. The spread it kind of, for me, even though it isn't, feels like it goes in an infinity sign, so I can kind of predict where the bullets are gonna go. And usually when I'm bots, I can kind of handle the sickle no problem. Now, when it comes to using it on squids or bugs, I didn't really use it on those factions. When I was leveling it up, I kind of used it exclusively on bots. So maybe it might be worse off or better because of that, but I really liked using it on bots. So I put it in A tier. Really good assault rifle, or I guess special weapon, I guess you could say. But it was really good. I liked it. Definitely better than the scythe. Because it just feels different. It's like a feelings-based thing. It's definitely not like any statistic probably, but I don't know. You really think that like charge up's gonna bother you, but it really doesn't. Probably one of the best guns in the game. I'm just gonna immediately put it in there because it's like the best of both worlds. Both worlds is the Purifier. I did not expect the Purifier to be as good. It's another gun that I'd never touched or never wanted to really use because I just never drew an opinion to it. I really like the Scorcher, and I always put the Scorcher in like A tier. But it just felt like the Plasma Purifier is like, what if we got the strengths of the Scorcher, and then we gave you the strengths of the Plasma Punisher, and we put them in one gun and call it a day. Especially when I found out that you could just hold the charge and not have to worry about the gun fizzling out or anything, and you could just hold it for as long as you wanted to, and then just shoot it then. And it was just putting in work with the AO. It was just, I was like, okay, well, you know, I don't even really have to say anything much past that. The Purifier is just insane with the versatility it offers and a lot of the different just overall combination of just what it is and what it offers to the table. Now the SMG, you know, we'll get a little more topical. When it comes to the Halo SMG, I like to put it in A tier. I think it was pretty good. I used it against all three factions. I didn't mind it. Now, I know that's going to probably be blowing some people's mind as like a lot of things in the Halo 3 ODST Warbond is getting shitted on, especially the M90. So I'm not going to be out here saying that it is god tier. You know, I'll put it in more of a mid tier weapon actually because it's more mid. It's not A tier. It's not something that is excelling at everything, but it's not horrible like how people are saying that you can't do. Like I see some people saying like some crazy shit like once it gets to past diff 5 you can't like get, and you're struggling to use this gun. I was not struggling to use this gun in the least bit. The major reason why I put it so low for me personally is my major complaint about basically suppressors in the game, which is I felt like Arrowhead really should have worked about overhauling the stealth mechanics in Helldivers 2 before adding suppressors in the game or adding any kind of stealth mechanics or any perks or stealth anything without overhauling the systems first, because even though this has a suppressor and the suppressor does work, if you don't know, yes, it does work. Don't listen to people who are telling you it doesn't work. It does work. The issue is the based on the detection system in the game and how basically you can kill a bot in the stealthy way, and every bot around it, even though they shouldn't know that you're there because you killed it in a stealthy way, they will instantly know that you're there and shoot you through walls because they know in pinpoint accuracy where you are. And that is the issue with the game and not the gun. It is not the gun's fault. And in my opinion, when those mechanics change and when the game has better stealth mechanics, we can see this gun shoot up to an A tier, maybe even an S tier if they decide to give it maybe a little bit of a damage buff, because I do admit it does have some damage drawbacks, I should say. But I felt like the recoil, the spread, and the gun overall handled perfectly fine, and it being one-handed is amazing. I was worried that it was going to be two-handed, because if it was two-handed, even if it was God tier, I'm going to tell you this right now, this shit would have been in C tier, okay? Also, for the people saying that this gun should be medium pen, you're literally the most faded people I've ever seen in my entire life. You are actually obsessed with AP3. You are the cult of AP3. It doesn't even make sense for the gun to be AP3. Okay, I don't even know where I don't even know if you've ever played Halo, but that shit was not killing anything super quickly. Okay, unless you had a different gun you're using with it in combination. Now with the Defender, I probably want to put it in the same place. It really just felt like it felt very mid. It was good. And when I got the drum mag, I could kind of use it, and I could see it as an assault rifle and like get like pinpoint accuracy, but it never really spoke to me on a level where I was like, okay, this is really excelling and this is really fun to use, and I kind of fuck with it a lot. It kind of just felt like middle of the road to me. It was like a jack of all trades, master of none. Nothing really overall bad with it, but nothing where I'm like, oh my god, this is S tier. I need to use it. I need to use this more. I'm probably never gonna come back to this gun, to be honest. Now with the Punisher, this is also a middle-of-the-road gun that didn't really jack of all trades, all that. The same things I could say about the Defender, I'm putting on the Punisher. The only reason why it doesn't go higher is just because I feel like there's other shotguns that excel at a lot of different things that are a lot more versatile, and it's not just because it's light penetration, okay? There is just nothing super special of this gun that made me say it has my vote of confidence to be an A tier. Now, the Slugger is what I would put in A tier, because that medium penetration does shoot it up to A tier, to be honest with you. But that's kind of it, because it's another... There's nothing really surprising to me, but just because it has the medium pen, I was able to handle a lot more situations more easily and not have to really stress about anything. And it was kind of chunking enemies, so it was just like, okay, I'll take that. That's a W. And so I'll put it in A tier, but it's like on the lowest, faintly highest B tier, maybe. Highest B tier, but lowest A, because it was just nothing that blew my mind about it besides it just being medium pen and being able to just dome Devastators pretty easily. Now, this might be probably my hottest take or I don't know, maybe like this entire tier list for a lot of people is like the most faded take possible. But for me, this gun, honestly, I'm going to keep it real with you. I think I'm going to put a little bit of rage bait on it just for some people. For me, it's a B tier weapon, but it borderline, the more I think about it, deserves to be in C tier, because it's literally just a really good assault rifle. But then every time I hear people, they're like, did you put it on total mode? Did you put it on like the second middle mode? And it's like, yeah, I did, bro. And I don't know about you, but I don't think there's a gun in the world that I want to use that knocks me on my ass. And like if I'm I don't know why you would want to it's cool. Yeah, it one shots Hulks in the back, but like, and it two shots flesh mobs, but you have to put yourself in the most compromised position to do that. And I just feel like there's other guns I'd rather use that don't put me in a compromised position. And while it's really fun, and that's not me knocking the gun for being like not fun, it's a fun concept. I think it's funny. I think it's cool, but in its effectiveness, it's just like the entire time I was leveling it up, I just kept it on the 550 RPM and on the normal AR setting. I just used it like as if it was a Liberator, because it did not feel like I should be using it for what it was intended, because it just always screwed me over, like knocking myself on the ass. I just didn't understand it. Maybe I should put it in B tier, because of it's not like I probably should put it in B tier. It is a B tier weapon in my opinion. It's very mid. There was nothing that was mind blowing about it. But if I was being a rage baiting asshole, I definitely probably would put it in C tier, because I just don't understand the appeal of it. And I just rather not ragdoll myself to try to one-shot a Hulk from behind or two-shot a flesh mob when I'm probably in. If I'm two-shotting a flesh mob, yeah, that's cool and all. But I had to ragdoll myself twice, which probably means that the overseers that are flying above me and shooting at me, the elevated overseers will probably let my ass up a few times. That's a few stems there. If I ragdolled myself a few times, there's probably crescent overseers now. They probably shot me a few times while my ass is on the ground. That's a few stems there. The vote list maybe have caught up, and now I'm getting hit by the vote list. And then God forbid you shot the flesh mob once, and now he's hitting you. There's no the appeal is just I don't understand. I don't get it. And then I saved the most controversial gun for the last because it is kind of a hot topic right now. We have videos from Commissar Kai, Gundam Boy, all talking about the M90 on how either it's amazing or how it is the worst gun to ever be known to man. That was an exaggeration. Gundam Boy's not saying that, but a lot of people are besides him that are not him, I should say. And for me personally, I have had conversations with other YouTubers and other people who play the game, so I'm taking their things into account. For me personally, its light penetration does not bother me. All right, I personally don't need this gun to be light penetration. I don't struggle against killing hive guards. I don't struggle with dealing with hordes. I don't struggle with killing chaff. Now, if I understand that the shooting it and just like not doing the reload with each shot, if you shoot it, it has a poor fire rate. It you will get handled quickly. You will get easily what is the word? Overrun if you do that. But I feel like it may be weird because I played Halo, so I know the little trick with the shotgun, but it's pretty intuitive that you would learn quickly based off how the reload works, that you shoot once, reload, shoot once, reload, shoot once, reload. And that's kind of the gimmick of the gun that makes it a little bit better than D or C tier, okay? For me personally, okay? And I know this is going to piss off a fuck ton of people, but I like using the shotgun, okay? I will put it on the lowest of A tiers, okay? Or the highest of B tiers. It is like if there was a A or B, if there was like a letter right here, like a B.5, I'd put it there, okay? Or a minus if I could be a cuck who's indecisive. I truly think that this shotgun is really just, yes, it does struggle to kill alpha commanders. But I mean, you know what? I'll keep it in B tier for now. But my thing is that, no, it doesn't. I'm going to stand my ground on this. Yes, it struggles to kill alpha commanders if you shoot them from behind. But if you shoot them in the head, then, bro, it's a two-shot kill with every other thing that's in the game. Now, I know that, like Gundam Boy said in one of his recent retorts to Commissar Kai, that the alpha commanders run away. I do think and I agree with them because they have run away in my game as well, but they only run away on the hive worlds, which leads me to think that there's something going on with their AI when it comes to their pathing or something. Because when I play normal worlds like Arata Prime, or I play on Sulfura, or whatever other world that is not a hive world with the underground terrain, I'm getting my ass rammed. I'm getting my ass charged at. I'm getting full on pushed, and they're constantly in range of me shooting them in the head twice and calling it a day. So it kind of goes back to why I feel like there's issues with the game, and we're not addressing the issues with the game. We're blaming the issues of the game on the gun. Yes, hive guards can be an issue. Personally, for me, I will say I've had no issue with hive guards. That the only time I die to the chaff overrunning me has been on hive worlds, and it's mainly because the poor world generation will create these massive oceans of bug piss that is waist high, and you are slow as fuck in it, while the bugs are not slow at all. So it is hard to back up and shoot back up and shoot or kite or dodge or do anything, and I'm just standing there getting rammed by like 50 different bugs, some of that are underground, some that are right in my face. And I'm gonna be real with you. No, unless it was the Blitzer or it was some explosive weapon, or maybe if it's the Coyote, which is why these guns are in S tier. The gun's not gonna be able to. The gun doesn't really help in that situation. I will be fully honest. It doesn't handle those situations well where you can't kite and move with it. You do have to also play into its. It has bad ammo. I'm not gonna lie to you. The gun has bad ammo. 44 shots. I wish it had 60. I'm gonna be honest. The Halo 2 shotgun had 60 rounds. Okay, I know this is the Halo 3 one, and I understand that this gun needs to be modeled off the Halo 3 shotgun. So I understand that they tried to copy it as close to the game. But fuck, man, I wish it had 60 rounds in it. Those 20 extra shots could come in handy. So yeah, it does. You do have to bring the supply packs you have to play around POIs to refill the gun. If you are not doing that, and which I don't know why you aren't, I feel like naturally every person should be going towards POIs. You should be going towards hitting, or you should bring a supply pack. If you know your gun runs out of ammo quickly, you should bring a supply pack. It's kind of common sense. I don't know how that's a bad take. Maybe it is, but I think the shotgun honestly is an A tier weapon. A lot of the complaints people bring up, I disagree with on a fundamental level. Now you can buff it, and that'll be awesome because you know what? If you buff it, if you guys get Arrowhead to buff the gun, I'm not gonna stand in your way and trying to get the gun buffed. Okay, you get the gun buffed, don't matter to me. It just means that I'm gonna be having an easier time killing shit with a gun that I already like. So I win no matter what. They don't buff it, I win. I already like the gun. They buff the gun, I win even more because it means I get to kill shit easier with the gun. So that's kind of how I feel. But for me personally, I put it in A tier, and that's kind of my tier, the ultimate tier list for this game. Okay, these are all the guns that I would say are the tier list. I don't know, man. I'm sucking at this like SEO terminology to get this video hit with that algorithm, but this is kind of it right here. Okay, I know some of you will disagree and cook my shit in the comments, and that's okay. I appreciate the engagement, and I appreciate your effort in wanting to see this channel succeed, and I love you for that. So I hope you guys enjoyed the video. I'm probably going to do this never again. I don't really like making tier list video. I think they're boring, but I thought it would be funny, and chat thought it would be funny, and also informative maybe, that I talk about my opinion on possibly every single gun ever since I maxed them all out. And this is kind of like a celebratory, hoorah, I did it. Every gun's maxed out. So I hope you guys enjoyed the video. Leave a like, comment down below. I know some of you will be leaving a comment down below, even if I don't have to ask you to do it. So I appreciate you. Thank you for typing it out. I read it. I appreciate it. I liked it, maybe. And yeah, that's it. Be safe. Don't drown. Peace.